When you think about AI, who pops into your head? OpenAI, right? Google? Maybe Anthropic? It's always the same handful of names. But what if I told you the real AI race is way bigger and a whole lot more global than you think? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on a powerful new player that's not just making a splash, it's getting ready to change the game entirely. So, get this. What if there was an AI that some say is even better than ChatGPT, is ridiculously cheaper to run, and has a killer feature that could totally transform your workday? I know, it sounds a little too good to be true. Well, let's dig in and see for ourselves. All right, so here's our game plan. First, we'll set the stage for this new challenger. Then we'll properly meet Z.ai, China's big contender. We'll check out its killer app, AI-generated slides. Then we'll see how it stacks up against the competition, cover the really important fine print, and finally talk about what this all means for the future of AI. Right now, the AI world kind of feels like a private club. You've got a few big players, mostly in the US, who own the whole space. And look, their models are incredible. There's no doubt about it. But they're also super expensive and kept tightly under wraps. That kind of environment is just begging for a challenger to come along and shake things up. This has left a huge, gaping hole in the market for something different. You know, a player that's built on an open source spirit, one that offers amazing performance without that eye-watering price tag. And well, a new contender has just stepped into the ring. So who is this new challenger? It's time to meet Z.ai. It started out as a company called Zhipu AI, and it's quickly becoming one of what they call China's AI tigers. And let me tell you, Z.ai is no small startup. This thing was spun out of the super prestigious Tsinghua University way back in 2019. By 2023, it was pulling in huge investments from tech giants like Alibaba and Tencent. Then, just this year, it rebranded for the whole world to see as Z.ai. So what's actually powering this thing? The engine is called GLM, which stands for General Language Model. Now, here's where it gets really cool. It uses something called a mixture of experts architecture. So instead of having one massive brain trying to do everything, it has a team of smaller, specialized experts. When you give it a problem, it intelligently sends that problem to the right experts for the job. This makes the whole thing insanely efficient, and that is the secret sauce behind its low cost and high power. So it really all comes down to these three things. First, it's got legit high performance. We're talking near the top of the charts on some major global benchmarks. Second, it's incredibly cheap, all thanks to that clever expert architecture. And third, it's open source, which is a huge deal. It gives developers the freedom to build on it without being locked into one company's expensive ecosystem. But, you know, having a powerful engine is one thing. You need a killer app, something people can actually use that blows them away. And Z.ai has a feature that, honestly, I haven't seen from any of the other big chatbots. Yeah, we're all used to AI chatbots that write code or draft an email. That's old news. Z.ai AI's standout feature is a tool that generates an entire presentation, like a full PowerPoint deck, from just a single sentence. And the process is just wild. It's so simple. You just type in a topic, something like marketing strategies for 2025, and boom, the AI instantly spits out a full slide deck. I'm talking a logical outline, titles for each slide, and all the main bullet points, all done in seconds. Then you just click export, and you've got a real PPTX file you can open in PowerPoint or Google Slides and start editing. This isn't just a gimmick, it's a serious productivity booster. Okay, so a unique feature is cool, but how does it actually hold up against the big guns we use every single day? It's time to put Z.ai to the test. All right, so a free, open model that can make my slides for me? Sounds fantastic on paper, but how does it actually perform on real-world stuff compared to heavyweights like ChatGPT and Claude? This chart pretty much tells the whole story. You've got free access, which is awesome. But look at those next two rows. AI slide generation, only Z.ai. An open source model? Again, only Z.ai. That's its unique lane. Now, on the flip side, if you're doing heavy-duty coding, the established players like ChatGPT and Claude do still have a bit of an edge. And here's a perfect little real-world test that shows what I mean. Somebody asked both for cheap places to travel in Europe. Z.ai gave a pretty good but generic list, and it assumed the person was in the US. It even made a nice, clean table with links. But ChatGPT was smarter. It saw the user was in Prague and gave a much more relevant, localized list of nearby spots. It just shows that while Z.ai is powerful, it can sometimes miss that deeper layer of context. But now let's talk about an area where Z.ai doesn't just win, it completely demolishes the competition. Cost. Just look at this chart. For developers who want to build apps using the AI, Z.ai's model costs just 28 cents per million tokens. Think of tokens as pieces of words. Its competitor, DeepSeek, which everyone thought was cheap, costs over $2 for the same thing. We're talking almost 10 times cheaper. For anyone building a business on this stuff, that is an absolute game changer. Okay, it's powerful, it's cheap, and it has a killer app. It sounds perfect. But you know how it goes. With any exciting new tech, we have to talk about the fine print. And there are some very real concerns we need to address. And this quote from a YouTuber who reviewed the tool really nails it. With any of these free online tools, especially one that operates in a different country, you just have to be smart about what kind of data you're feeding it. So you really have to know the trade-offs. As we saw, its creativity and English can sometimes be a step behind the competition. You might also notice some weird little quirks in the interface, like a button or two still in Chinese. It also doesn't have that massive library of plugins that ChatGPT has. But the biggest thing for many users is going to be this. It operates under Chinese data privacy and cybersecurity laws. And that leads us to this, which is a really big deal. Z.ai and its parent company are on the US entity list. That basically restricts them from doing business with American companies because of national security concerns. This adds a huge layer of geopolitical drama to the whole thing, especially for anyone in the West thinking about adopting it. So after all that, where does this leave Z.ai? And more importantly, what does its arrival on the world stage mean for the future of AI in general? Let's wrap this up. Okay, here's the bottom line. Z.ai is, without a doubt, a powerful, super cost-effective challenger with a genuinely useful feature in AI slides. It's a breath of fresh air, an open-source option in a world of closed-off systems. At the same time, it faces massive roadblocks for adoption in the West because of those geopolitical and privacy issues. But don't count it out. With plans for an IPO, it's clear Z.ai is aiming for the big leagues. If there's one thing Z.ai proves, it's that world-class AI is no longer a Silicon Valley exclusive. We're officially in a new global era of AI development. The competition is fierce, the tech is getting more diverse, and innovation is coming from every corner of the planet. The only question left is, who's going to win?